Interrogation room part 11, and a few things I want to show you now. In the last video I worked on the lamp and I guess the electrical socket, and I wanted to show you that since then I just went ahead and textured the lamp in Substance Painters very simply. Just want something done with that, and I did a little frame for the mirror. But I want to talk about the mirror because I may be using Eevee for this video, and if you look at the reflections, they do not look very good at all. Now I may use cycles, but chances are I'm going to use Eevee. And so one of the things that you can do is, first of all, the way I did this is I have a principled BSDF as opposed to like a glossy note, because I may be doing some textures on this, and I may redo this in Substance Painter, but I've got the roughness at 0 and I've got the metallic all the way up so that it's very reflective, but it doesn't look very nice. And so what I'm going to do to fix that in Eevee is I'm going to bring in a light probe reflection plane right to the mirror. So let's select the mirror and bring the 3D cursor there. Alright, just like that, and Shift A, light probe reflection plane. And I'm going to turn this, I'm going to rotate Y 90 minus, I want the arrow facing the objects in the room, and I'm going to scale this to basically fit in the mirror. Now let's come back to here. And now you can see it's reflecting the room. Okay. All right, so that's that. Now let's have a look at doing a little bit of texturing. And by the way, I cut a little hole out here because I may want to stick the camera in here and have a little bit of a door frame. I'm not sure about that though. Okay, so we got the lamp figured out, we got the mirror figured out for now, and now I want to look at the floor. So I'm going to just isolate the floor, and we're going to have a look at this thing here. Now I've got some modifiers on there, some arrays. Instead of one piece, I've got just a plane that I'm arraying. I'm going to do that because I want to texture this in Substance Painter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and let's check and see. I don't have any UV maps, so let's go to UV editing and just focus on that. All right, and I'm going to unwrap, scale it down just a little bit. Okay, so that piece is what I'm going to bring in. I'm going to shut off the modifiers, and I'm going to bring that in as a plane into Substance Painter. Alright, I baked the mesh maps at 2K. I decided I wouldn't bore you with that this time. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add a fill layer. And leave it like that. And come down to my base color. Let's try this. Grab this checkered pattern. Throw it in there. Okay. Let's see, maybe we tile this by 2. Alright, so I can array that and have a checkered floor. And let me bring the roughness up. I want a little bit of reflectivity. We'll check that out. And let's try just adding another fill layer. I'll change this to sort of a darkish color. Try that. A black mask, generator, and dirt. And that looks okay. Let's see how it tiles. Pardon the pun. When we put on the array. So I'll save this file and export the textures. Okay, let's create a material for this. Let's call this floor tiles. click on the principal BSDF, Shift Control T, and look for it. Floor plane, floor tiles, base color to roughness. So there's that. Let's have a look at the array. And let's have a look at it here. Okay, slash key. I may have to adjust the size of those, but we'll see. Now, I'm not necessarily sold on doing tiles, but I think I may. I may slide this up so that it's flush with the wall, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I've got a camera in here and I can look at this, and I can do a test render in Eevee. However, because these walls are very bright, the lighting is going to be off, and the lighting is very important, but I will show you that. So let's see what I've got here. I've got my render at 250. This is in Eevee. I've got ambient occlusion on. I've got bloom on. I've got subsurface. I've got not that, screen space reflections. I've turned off half res to get more resolution, and I will look at shadows later, and that's about it, I guess. My size, I've set a particular size. I'll do it at 100%. Alright, so let's do a test render. Okay, this is what we get so far. These tiles may be a little bit big for my liking, but you can see our lamp with the glare on there, and we can see a reflection. I'll have a couple things in the background, including a clock, and of course once the walls are textured, it will look better. I will show you that in the compositor I've done a couple of things as well. I've actually added 2 glare nodes. I may change that. I've got a bit of sharpening on there, not very much, and I've got a color balance to blue so that it ends up looking like this. My camera, I've also set my camera at 35 millimeters. Alright, so I can get a little bit more of the scene in there. So I will have to think about whether or not I like the size of those tiles and the positioning of the tiles as well. So that's what we have so far. Now, I'd like to have a look at the walls. So I'm going to select all the walls here and focus just on those. I'll come in. So I have those lines that I believe I set up a while ago. I guess I have this extra one here because of this back door, which I guess I will keep. And so if I select that, I also broke them out from each other in case I want to move them or something along that line. And what we're going to do though is I'm going to UV unwrap these, position them, and then I'll do a quick texture and substance painter, and we'll have a look at that. So let's get just to the walls. Let's see, let's select just these, slash key. Alright, so we got the walls. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's make sure I don't have anything on here. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, so yeah, so what I'll do is I'm just going to select it and I'm going to unwrap. I'm going to select that and unwrap that, unwrap, and that, and unwrap. Now I'll select the whole thing and I will do average island scale, and then I'll go ahead and I'll use Blender to pack the islands, but I want to have a look at this. Okay, make sure I've got this double arrow on so it's synced. So let's look at, first of all, this is the front wall here. And so if I click there, that's the bottom piece and up. So that's the right orientation for that one. I'm just going to move that out and leave it at the top. Okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to Shift Alt and click there. So there's the bottom, right? And then that one is the next level, and that's the next level. So that's sitting on its side. So I'm going to rotate 90 degrees, move that out maybe to here. Just double check. Okay, so there's the top, so it goes downwards like that. Okay, good. Let's move along. This one, this one, this one. Okay, that's fine. I just leave that right there. And this one, I mean, you can tell by the notch that that's not going to be right. There's the sides. Okay, so it's just turned. Okay, so let's just grab all of those. Let's rotate 90. Oh, it's standing upright. Okay. With that done, I'm going to select it all. And if I just do pack islands, I don't know if there's any way in here, maybe it's obvious, to not rotate them. I don't know. I could drag them into place, but I'm going to use Pack Master 3 here, and I'm going to click Pack, but I'm going to make sure I have Rotation Enable unchecked, so it doesn't rotate them, just Pack. So now they're all standing up in the orientation that I want. Alright, so we are ready to go, and what I'll do is I will create one material here, or I could do it in Substance Painter, but I could do it right here as well. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to call this walls, and we'll put walls. That's the one, so I'm going to select this one, shift click on those ones, click on that one, that's Control L, link material, so they should all have walls on it, so it just makes it easier. Okay, so select the whole thing. We got UV map done, and we're going to export that as an FBX into Substance Painter. Alright, mesh maps are baked, and there are my walls. There's the front and there's the side. Okay, so just walls, one material. So let's do this. Let's come to the materials. I'm going to look up plastic actually, and I want this plastic grainy. Drag that in. And I'm going to change the color to sort of a light color. And I'm going to change the scale to about 12 maybe. Let's try just looking here. Somewhere around there. Yeah, okay. Maybe let's try 10. A little bit hard to tell here. But what I'm going to do, okay, yeah. What I'm going to do is come up here and switch this first of all to 2048 right away. Now you can start seeing the detail a bit more. I'm probably going to bring that up because it is quite long, quite big. But before I do that, I'm going to copy this and paste. Should have just duplicated it. I think this bottom one I'm going to change to a blue color. I'll try that, and then I'll put a black mask on here, come to my polygon fill tool, and just get this stuff in white here. Alright, let's spin around, let's get that stuff and that stuff right there. I think we got it all. Now I may need to come back and adjust that color. I may not like it, but we'll see. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that kind of a thing. Now we can try some dirt and see what it's like at that point. Just I don't want anything too extreme on this, but we'll see if I like it. So I'm just going to do it this way. What am I doing? Not that. I like it in the corners. Just a touch of that. And then I was thinking I would go around and I would put little defects. I may not keep that that dirt there, but we'll see. Let's leave it for the moment and create just a paint layer. And I'm going to use just height. So I'm going to alt-click height, bring the height down just a little bit. And then let's use, let's say, brushes. And let's look at a couple of different things here. If I do this, little holes and stuff like that. Now I'm going to bring it up to 4096 in a minute, and sometimes that will crash my computer or Substance Painter. I've got some other alphas in here that I thought I would have a look at. Maybe not that one. Let's see what this one's like. Yeah, that puts nice little dents in the wall here and there. Dampy drip. I need to, there's one particular I really liked. I don't know what that is. Oh, look at those big indentations. I just want to give you a sense of this. I probably would do this on my own because, not being a great artist, I would have to do it slowly. Is this the one? Look at that. Yeah, I'll probably get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's try bringing this up to 4096. Okay, we can see the texture much nicer now. All right, let's export that. So walls, here we go. Let's just have a look around the room. It might be a little bit too shiny for me, and it might be a little bit too greenish for me, but you can see the texture there, and you can see the damage that I did. I didn't do a very nice job, so maybe I'll go back and do some of that, but I do like some of it. I'm not too concerned. Well, let's do a test render. It's pretty dark in the room, but you can see some of the texture. I'm going to bring up the ambient light just here, change the color a little bit, and I'm going to adjust the position a little, and we'll do another render. I just want you to be able to see in the mirror here. Alright, so that's what we have. It's not much different. I'll have to think about that floor. I'll be putting a trim down here. I'm going to do one more render with a bit more light so we can see the walls a bit more. And we cut down the glare and get rid of the sharpening. So let's do that. Let's come over here. Let's click on the sharpening and Control X. And let's click on the glare and Control X there. That was more for cycles. Let's come back here and let's see what we can do here. Let's hide the roof for the moment, the ceiling. Let's take one of these lights and just slide it over here for now. What I'll do is I will create some lights, probably not this shape actually. I'm probably going to change it. I'll put that there, and I'll put a couple out here so that anything that you see in the mirror as a reflection, see the light, you'll actually see the light fixture. So it'll make a little bit more sense. But let's stick some light in there so that we can see the scene a bit better. Maybe even just 20. And let's take the camera back even, just for now, so we get a wider sense. Let's even put this at 25 millimeters. All right, now I'll just do something slightly different, and we'll look at that. All right, so you can see the detail on the floor and the dirt, the colors. I will decide if I like those colors in the end. I think that blue is just too saturated for me, and decide on the floor. But that's the general idea of what I'm going for, with a few other items in there and some stuff in the reflection. So you can see where we're getting at now. Lighting and textures are going to end up being, you know, really important. So we have yet to texture these things, make those lights on there, a few other items there, and decide on the floor and some stuff in the reflection, and then really think about the lighting, and that's going to be that. So that's a decent update, I think, for the time being. So we'll come back, probably do some more modeling, and I will have made a few changes, although not many, because I'm liking it quite a bit.